because everybody comes to California in
Uh-huh.
search of a dream. And so
Exactly.
when someone tells me that, it's like, I was born in LA, it's like, oh my God. So where were you raised in LA?
So I was born in Compton and raised in Carson.
Straight out of Compton. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
Yes, you had to. You had to.
Okay. So
Uh,
you said you were born in Compton, raised in Carson.
yep, yep, in the South Bay. And I grew up during the time where gangster rap, it went from X-Clan and like all the like, conscious rap to NWA and banging on wax
Yes.
and all that stuff. And I was, a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, which is when most little boys would go through a rite of passage. So my rites of passage was trying to be a gangster and trying to be tough
Mm-hmm.
and trying to
Yes.
be like what I saw on television. And
Word.
at 15 years old, I had the first sort of really understanding of intuition because one of my best friends asked me to go out and drink and do stupid stuff like we always did, but something internally said don't go,
Hmm.
and I said no, and he made fun of me and called me all kind of names, and I was like, "Yo, I'll see you tomorrow, man." And within an hour, every single person in that blue Astro van that I was in the night before that, and the night before that, and the night before that, every single one of them was shot. And my best friend was shot in the head and died instantly.
Was it
And
drive-by?
no, it was a disgruntled guy who was going through something, and us being stupid 15 and 16-year-old kids, the guy, you know, asked my friend, what are you looking at? And my buddy
And
Scott
here
said it
we go.
exactly. And it just
Right.
escalated. And
So
yeah,
how
that,
did you feel when you found that out? Did you feel lucky, or
mhm.
did you then penalize yourself for not going?
Exactly. A little bit of both. I had a lot of survivor's guilt,
Yes.
and I didn't know how to cry at that point. We beat little boys and girls to that degree out of their emotions by the time they're 15 and 16 years old. So I didn't even cry. I didn't even know what to do with those emotions. I was just so stunned by the whole thing, and it prompted me to be able to look at life differently. I ended up moving to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I
Wow.
yeah, I had to get out of there. I was afraid I was going to be next, and so
Mm.
um, I ended up, and this is the end of the story, but also the beginning of it. I ended up at a school where I was the only black male in the entire school, and
Wow.
yeah, and
So wait, hold on. I just got to, I just so that everybody follows us. You go from LA, homeboy getting shot, you were supposed to be with them, to now moving to the whitest place in America, being the only brother in the
yep,
school.
yep, yep,
And
exactly.
how old?
I was still 15 and a half. This within 2 weeks, I left. When my
Wow.
when my friends got
Ow.
shot, I took off, and
Jeez.
yeah, this was a game changer for me because I checked into the school, and I'm sure yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is about him going from
Yes.
from Philadelphia to
LA.
L.A. And
Yes.
I went from L.A. to Pennsylvania, which is also where Philadelphia is, and I pulled up in beat up white Nissan Sentra. And as we were pulling into the school, there was just nothing but BMWs and Mercedes, and it was like literally culture shock for me because this was one of the wealthiest public schools in Pennsylvania. And
Mm.
um, I got out and I walked to the office to get checked in, and as I was going by each classroom, everybody was like sort of looking out the window, like like I was an
But
eight.
they had never seen no black person before?
Exactly.
What?
That's how crazy it
Okay, I
was.
mean, what year is this? Do you remember?
This is 1996.
Oh, now come on. Like, you ain't in the 60s. Like, I could see if it was when I was going to school, at least the 70s. This is
Yeah,
in the 90s? They looking
yeah,
at you
yeah.
like that?
They were, but let me finish the story because
Okay.
you're gonna love this. So instantly, I become the most popular kid in school, obviously.
Oh, that's good.
And I joined this new gang called Wexford Mafia, which was all these rich white dudes, and and we were headed to a party. This is crazy because I'm answering your question. This is the last part. So we're headed to a party. I'm in this kid Brad's BMW. I'm in the back seat. They're listening to Outkast, Wheels of Steel, and I have a 40 in my lap, Everybody's smoking weed, passing alcohol. We're drinking and driving as 15-and-a-half-year-old kids, heading to a party, listening to Outkast, Tupac, and Biggie. And I had this moment where I was like, oh my God, the kids at my former school were doing the same exact thing, but they're going to jail. These kids are doing this and they're going to Yale. And the distinction and the difference was it's very hard to rise to low expectations. And so at 15 and a half, I had an understanding that the system wasn't set up for me to win. And so in order for me to win, I was going to have to play a different game, and I was going to have to be aware of how that game was being played. And that changed everything for me. That was like, all I needed was a glimpse of what was going on in order for me to just take off.